We will start with opening comments from Coach Bennett.
Yeah, just proud of the group of seniors we had, and proud of what they were able to get their team to do. Tremendous leadership. I told them after the game, I never had a better group of senior leaders, I don't think. I've had some individual leaders, but just as far as three guys that have kind of taken our program to a higher level, which is hard to do at this point. And people always say, hey, get to the next level. We've been a 5 seed the last 2 years, and both years we've run into a really good team. Last year was UCLA, this year was UConn. So, yeah, nothing but thanks and a lot of pride for what these three guys have done. They've made a lot of sacrifices to put our program in a place that it hasn't been.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now take questions for the student athletes, and please raise your hand and give your affiliation with your name. We'll start over here on the left.
Ralph Russo with the Associated Press for either of you. If you just describe maybe what their defensive game plan, their defensive intensity in the second half when you guys were really having a hard time struggling.
Well, I felt like we were getting good looks. We just weren't making shots. I wasn't making shots. Shot 3 for 15 on the night. That's not going to cut it. Trying to get to a Sweet 16. But I felt like we were getting good looks for the most part. We started to turn the ball over a little bit more, which led to them hitting some shots in transition, which really opened the game up for them. Which we said that was rule number one, was stopping, was their transition defense.
Yeah, just touching on that, I think Lo got it exactly right. Obviously needed guys to step up in the second half with one of our main guys, Alex, took us out. Maybe just ran out of bullets, but I'm proud of our guys, the way we fought to the last moment, as you saw out there. So, yeah, nothing but props for our guys.
Other questions, student athletes? Go ahead, front row up here.
Hi, I'm Amon Kidwai with SB Nation. Adama Sanogo was extremely dominant down low from start to finish. What was that like for you, Kyle, down low, and just witnessing that?
Yeah, obviously that was a key part of our game plan coming into tonight, and we probably didn't execute it as good as we should have. But I mean, a guy like that, a guy that size, with his touch around the rim, it's got to be a multiple man cover. And we probably should have supported our bigs a little more and gave them a bit more support, which is something we've done on some of the best bigs in the country all year. But obviously tonight we weren't as effective as we should have been there. And yeah, no, he had a good game, and I'm sure he'll be going on to the Sweet 16 and playing well.
Right here.
Connor Letourneau, San Francisco Chronicle. Logan and Kyle, could you kind of just reflect on the past 2 years and what you think it's done for the program to kind of maybe get to that next level or what have you?
Yeah, obviously a lot of raw emotion right now. I give props to Randy and this program for everything they've given me and us. And I feel like me, Logan, and Alex as a three-man senior leadership have put this program in a great place going forward, and we have the talent moving forward. So as much as I'm reflecting my time here, I'm excited about what our young guys can bring to the table. They got a little taste of it this year, and I'm excited what our freshmen are going to do. And I mean, I hope they take this as motivation. As this is a little taste, but this program has the potential to go further than this, and I can't wait to be a watcher from now on.
Yeah, touching on that, thank you to RB for everything. We wouldn't even be in this position if it wasn't for him and the culture and the togetherness and familyness that he brought to this team, to this university. And it's honestly, it's a blessing to be a part of it. He always preaches, leave this place in a better place than when you got here. And I felt like going back-to-back 5 seeds. Last year I wanted to come back because felt like we had something more to give. Getting past the second round, I really wanted to taste that Sweet 16, but it's an honor to be here. It's a privilege. Never took a day for granted being a part of this college, and thankful for him, and thankful for everybody that's supporting Cast behind the scenes that don't get the credit they deserve. This is tough, but it's a blessing to be a part of them and St. Mary's, and I felt like we left this place in a better place than when we got here. And that's a tough thing to do.
Logan and Kyle, thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Good job, fellas.
We'll now take questions for Coach Bennett, and we'll start here in row 4 on the left.
Ralph Russo from the Associated Press. Randy, what happened to Alex, and what was the effect on your team with not having him?
His back just kind of slipped out of place, and he'd had a good, It's not the first time it's happened, but he made it to, he'd done well all season. He was really starting to play his best basketball. So it's just one of those deals. He didn't get hit or anything. He just, I don't know. Sometimes things like that happen, and obviously it affected our ability to score. He's a bullet that we need, and it's not like we don't have an oversupply of shooting in our lineup, and so when you take that one out, who's our best shooter, it affects you. So, and it affected all of our guys, but we're in that game for a while. I don't want to put it all on that. It's not all on that, but it did affect our offensive efficiency. I feel terrible for him because he's playing well. He's playing well in this game. He's been playing well, and it's his senior year, and he's trying to get Sweet 16. That just hurts. Hurts to see that happen to anybody.
Right here, second row.
Randy, do you have any expectation at all yet about Kyle Bowen and Dukas? Do you expect them back next year? It sounded like Bowen, you mentioned being a watcher, but I don't know what that meant.
Being a what?
He said watching the program going forward. I wasn't sure.
Oh, yeah.
Meant,
you know what? I talked to him before the season, and then I leave it alone. I don't. Same thing I did with Logan. I don't talk to him about it during season. I want them to play it out like it's their senior year, and they'll really give it everything they have, and then we'll talk and evaluate the situation moving forward for Alex and Kyle. So the answer is I don't know for sure.
Further questions for Coach? If you could talk about Kyle and Logan's performances, the players that were up here for this season, and your thoughts there.
All three of them, or those?
Yes, all three, as well as.
Yeah, I mentioned at the beginning, they put in a program where we haven't been before. I mean, it's hard to go to back NCAA tournaments, much less 5 seeds. I mean, we're the only other school that's gotten a 5 seed since they went to 64 teams out of our conference. Gonzaga, obviously, and then ourselves. And so these guys, had it not been for the COVID year when they canceled the tournament, these guys would have gone 3 out of 4 and probably an 8 seed and 2 5s. So they had everything to do with that, and everything they cared about was that, like putting our program in a better situation than when they came into our program, which would be very hard for anybody to do, but they did. And like I said, these guys are great leaders. I'll be shocked if 2 of them don't end up being coaches. And I feel sorry for them, but I think that's where they're headed, because that's how they talk in our locker room. That's how they talk to the team. I just really don't have to deal with a lot of the things because they have it covered. And even right down the last time out, Logan was telling me, you don't ever, if you're playing for St. Mary's, you give you give your 100% effort no matter what the score is and all the way through, and they did. And those are little things that it's really hard to get players that totally buy into that. And Logan was outstanding at that. Kyle was outstanding, and Alex really became a good leader and was kind of our voice and energy guy that really complemented those two as far as a trio of leadership.
Coach, thank you for your time this weekend in Albany. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.